Here are just some examples of our host's past custom floor plans inside an event for some inspiration. So with the custom floor plan, the sky really is the limit in terms of creativity. You can recreate iconic physical spaces like your office building for a corporate event, or create generic spaces to host your event in, like a beach or a park. With custom floor plans, your event really stands out as a memorable occasion for guests, and not to mention, it's incredibly shareable as well. To enter your event, you can either click Copy Event URL and open this in a new tab, or you can just click the event card from your dashboard. Before entering a Remo event, we'll run a quick system check for you. This page lets you test your mic and cam, set up a virtual background, and test your device's compatibility with Remo. Once the system check is complete, just press Join Event. When you enter a Remo space, you'll be dropped onto a virtual table and shown as a circle or avatar. This is what we call conversation mode. This is where the magic of authentic networking on Remo happens. How is that? Well, each virtual table functions as a private audio-video conversation, or a mini breakout room. Attendees can turn on their mic and cam by clicking here and talking to the other people at the virtual table, just like if they were sat next to each other at a physical event. But unlike at a physical event, attendees at other tables can't overhear any conversations. In a Remo space, you've got multiple tables, meaning multiple group conversations can happen at once. No one likes being chained to a seat or forced into a group conversation. I mean, no one really makes genuine connections under pressure. So on Remo, attendees are free to move about the event space however they please. They can jump between conversations by just double-clicking onto the table they want to move to. But don't worry, as a host, you still have the ability to lock tables if there's a private conversation that you don't want interrupted. You can also customize table names so attendees know what's happening on each of the tables. Oh, and if guests are a little shy to move around, hosts can also initiate an attendee shuffle, which automatically shuffles everyone around the space onto different tables so they can meet even more new people. But what else makes Remo's networking so great? In a Remo space, you can have multiple types of conversations happening at once, from large discussion groups of up to 24 participants to small serendipitous hallway conversations with just 2 people. So as the event organizer, you can decide what types of conversations and how big those conversations should be when you're selecting your floor plan. Besides just speaking to others on your table, attendees can also share their screen. Remo offers multiple simultaneous screen shares, so no more of that, "Can you please stop your screen share" business? Attendees can also collaborate on their table's whiteboard, which is perfect for group brainstorming. Now, it's difficult to network with people if you don't know who they are. So at Remo, each attendee is given a virtual business card, or their profile to fill out prior to joining. Users can view each other's business cards by clicking on their avatar. If knowing who other attendees isn't really the issue, but rather finding them in a full event space, you can also use our participants list here to locate where other users are within the event space. So that was our conversation mode, where guests can move around and talk to each other in smaller groups. But how can a host present to everyone in the space at once? That's where Remo's presentation mode comes into play. Hosts can easily transition between the 2 modes by clicking the Present button on the bottom toolbar here. They can choose how they want to start their presentation. A seamless automatic transition from authentic networking to interactive presentations. So here's presentation mode. This mode is kind of like a webinar mode, where a host or speaker can come up onto the virtual stage and speak to all attendees at once. It's perfect for sessions like a keynote presentation or a panel discussion. But Remo's presentation mode is not a typical one-way presentation. There's a bunch of interactive tools at a host's disposal to transform the standard presentation into an engaging, 2-way conversation. Hosts or speakers can easily join the virtual stage by turning their camera and microphone on, as mine currently is. Remo supports up to 50 presenters on stage at once, depending on which AppSumo plan you go for. Now, typically, only hosts and speakers have the freedom to join and leave the presentation stage, but Remo is all about interaction and engagement, and it's not very engaging just watching a presentation happen. So on Remo, hosts have the power to invite guests to join the stage. This is perfect for many use cases, including hosting inclusive Q&A sessions, so instead of just typing in your questions, guests can actually come up on stage and ask them live. When a guest is done, hosts can simply remove them from the stage, so they're placed back in the audience as so. But that's not all. With Remo's presentation mode, speakers no longer have to feel like they're presenting to an empty void. With Remo's Remoji reactions, speakers can see real-time feedback like applause, agreement, and even confusion. If that's still not enough, we've also got immersive sound effects to really bring your presentations to life. You can choose any of the 4 sound effects: applause, laughter, celebration, or a drum roll. Click it and the sound effect will play for everyone in the event. Don't worry, Remo's also got the more traditional interactive tools for presentations, like the Q&A, where guests can type in questions and upvote the ones they like. Hosts can also set up polls to collect more attendee insights. These can be fun polls for attendee engagement, or informative ones for your event. On Remo, we also support quizzes to test your audience's understanding of a given concept. The only difference between a quiz and a poll is to remember to select a right answer for a quiz and set a countdown for how long your quiz will be active for. And when you're finished with presenting, you can easily return you and your attendees to conversation mode by clicking Back to Floor. And there you have it, a demo of the Remo platform.